Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you're new here, I do all kinds of lifestyle videos, motherhood vlogs, but I also talk about our budget, living life with some debt, living on one income since my husband currently works and I am a stay-at-home mom, and how we're making that all work with some debt, with high living costs, all of that kind of stuff. Today I'm going to take you through my September budget recap. In my last video, I did my October budget with me, and then I kind of showed you where we were at like mid-month-ish. Today I'm going to show you what happened in September. So just as a precursor, September was a pretty chill month in the beginning, but then at the end of the month and beginning of October, we went on our trip through Wisconsin, which I can link a little video here if you want to watch that vlog. But we definitely did some spending in that on that trip, but I will say most of that will be in October's budget because we were really only gone for like 2 days in September and I split the budget out. So let's go through the budget. I'll show you everything that we spent and talk about it. But honestly, this was a pretty good month. I'm pretty proud of it. Okay, we're gonna try to get this started. However, Ben is trying to corral the kids and the dogs outside right now so I can film this. So you're probably gonna hear them in the background. He's doing the best that he can with what we have. We haven't really had help this week. Well, not today, and today is a day where we usually get the most help. So we've kind of been a little bit frazzled with like last minute changes to that. So anyways, my September budget recap, if we go over to this section, I'll try to like zoom in on different sections in case you're interested, but for, you can see like what we budgeted, what we actually spent, and a couple of these bigger areas, and then income. So we did end up bringing in a little bit extra income this month, and that is because well, I'll show you down below, but we had a couple of little things come in, and then my husband gets like, I think there's only like 2 more that he gets, but basically he's being paid out of something at his at his job, and we get like $794 every, I don't know, 4 months, 3 months, like that, or something like that. I usually put this into savings. I didn't this month because I knew we were gonna need it between September and October. If you guys haven't watched any of my previous videos, I get a lot of questions about like, where is this additional money coming from, blah, blah, blah. I do explain it throughout the video. Like, I'll show you where the income comes from. Most of it's from my husband. Sometimes I make a little bit here and there with YouTube or on social media. And then if we have to pull money from savings, stuff like that. Unfortunately, for example, August was just like a terrible month. We just like blew through some savings, and we currently are living in a rental home in Illinois that is way too high of a price for living on one budget with living on one income with debt. We pay $2,700 to live here. That's not counting utilities, so probably close to $3 grand just to live in this house. And we love it. We love the neighborhood. We love our landlord, all of that kind of stuff, but it's just very expensive, and we have not been able to find anything around here that's less than that fits our needs. My husband works from home full time. We have 2 big dogs, so we need a fenced in yard. Those are just things that you tend to pay more for. My husband is very much anti a connected home, so any type of town home, anything like that, he wants to stay far away from, especially with kids and dogs. This is not anything against anybody that lives in an apartment or anything like that. I actually used to love apartment living. There's a lot less work, but that's just where we're at right now. And if we want to make any headway on our budget, we are going to have to move from, most likely out of Illinois, but definitely out of this area. But that's a whole other video that I've probably done a million times. But if you have any questions, leave them down below. Up here, so I had about $495 that I didn't budget. Like, I didn't zero out my budget because I wanted to leave extra in there because I didn't know what this trip would be like. Total budgeted, left to spend, that's how much was left over at the end of our month, which is great. If you guys remember last month, we were $85 in the hole, plus I had to pull money out of savings for a couple of like emergency things that came up. So to have $1,200 to push to the next month, even though a good chunk of that was this, was great. Really proud of ourselves. So we spent $7,000, just under that. So in this section, you can see I budgeted $1,500 for groceries. We were under that by a little bit. I budgeted $250 for eating out. We were under that a little bit, which never happens. I will say our October budget, we like blew through eating out already, and it's only October 7th, so we're really gonna have to be careful the rest of the month. But we basically had to eat out for almost all of our meals when we were on our trip, and food's just expensive right now, and for 2 people that eat specific diets plus a toddler, it was a whole thing. As far as meds and supplements, we were under budget on that. Under budget by a little bit on household supplies. That's like diapers, personal items. If I need to get shampoo, or we need to get cleaner or toilet paper or something like that, that's all within household supplies. Under budget on personal spending, we spent about $77.54. Medical, we were under budget. Utilities, we were under budget. That's really under budget. It must have all came out in October, which is annoying. I'll have to look at that when we go down. Car, we were a little bit under budget. Cora and Finn, that's the dogs, we were a little bit under budget, but basically right on budget. I budget like exactly what is needed for their food. We were a little bit over budget on miscellaneous, and that's because Ben bought me these tarot cards that I have wanted. Neither of us realized that they were $74 because they're like teaching tarot cards. I definitely would not have asked for them if I knew they were that much, so he just bought them because he wanted to get them for me, which was really nice, but I didn't budget for that obviously because I wasn't expecting him A, to get me a gift, or B, for it to be $74. So we were a little bit over budget there. And then we were $5 over budget on travel, and that we must have got like an extra charge from Airbnb or the hotel that we stayed at, because I had budgeted exactly what I thought those were going to be, so it was just a little bit off. Over here is our monthly bills. Everything was right on par. We spent just a tiny bit over on multimedia, it looks like, and a little bit here. I'm not sure why that was a little bit more. We'll need to look into that. And then all of our debt over here, we ended up paying $493, which is about what we pay currently on debt every month, because we're not currently paying any extra. However, one of the big reasons that we want to move, or will need to move really, it's not even a want, is we need to bring our rent to at least $2,300 a month, preferably even less than that, but we need to bring it down so that we can start paying off some debt and really make some movement, because we really want to pay off some debt, build up our savings, and hopefully buy a house in the next like 5 years. So yeah, that's just something we need to do. But when we're staying in a house that the rent is like bleeding us dry, you know, that's like our biggest expense. So yes, we spend a lot on groceries, but that's something that we're always going to spend a lot of money on. We eat almost all of our meals at home. My husband eats a lot of food. We have a toddler. We have now a baby that's starting to eat food. And both my husband and I have food intolerances, so I don't eat gluten. We'll talk about eggs at a different time, but I don't normally eat gluten or eggs. He doesn't eat dairy. We eat high quality food because it helps with the health issues that we have, which is a whole other thing. So yes, we spend a lot on groceries, but that is a non-negotiable for us. We would rather pay less for rent, or pay less, only have one car like we do currently, or make up things in different areas, if that makes sense. Okay, so moving on to transactions. So our spending breakdown, we spent 38.5% of our income on rent, and then 20% on groceries. Travel was high this month, which if you guys have watched my channel for a while, we never travel, like literally ever. So this was the first time we've traveled in years, I think. Household supplies, all of these are like, you know, now under like 4%. So if we go and look at our actual transaction tracker, these aren't in exact order. I need to figure out how to like sort these a little bit better, but because we pay a lot of stuff on credit cards, I come in and like piecemeal it because I want to see every single transaction. I don't want to just put like Target card or Discover card, because we never keep an amount on those cards. They're paid off, but we do use it for like points, and I get money back from my card, so does Ben. So that's just something that we do. So I think, let's see, I think I talked about some of this in my last video, so you can go through that if you're interested. I'm just seeing if there's anything. I did get $121 income from YouTube, so thank you for watching my videos. I get like 100 to 150 bucks every 3 or 4 months, which I appreciate. Of course, I would love for that to be like more than that, but I'm just appreciative of getting anything at this point. As far as income, we got a little bit of interest. Let's see, well, it seems like there was, oh, that was something on my card. Let's see, dog food, farmer's market. We spend a lot on farmer's markets. To be honest, I'll be glad when the farmer's markets are over, because while I love supporting local farms and I think it's important, it just sucks that like monetarily, that's a really big stretch for us. So while it's like important for our, what are those called? Like not personal goals, like our values is important to support local farms and buy high quality food, and that's why we do it. We are living on one income in a very high cost of living area. So those are just things that like, it just sucks because sometimes we're not able to do those things. Haircut, I got an $11 payment from TikTok, which was amazing. I was so excited to actually get a little bit of a payment from TikTok. So that was exciting for me. It looks like I got a Starbucks, but I had a gift card, more farmer's market. You'll see a lot of coffee. Mama likes coffee. We did go to Cava as a family. Let's see if there's anything. So our Airbnb came out. We did get income. $14.85 was Ben's credit card points. So those come through. I have like $70 of credit card points, money that'll be coming through in the next couple of weeks. So that's really nice. I took Poppy to the chiropractor. I'm just seeing if there's anything else crazy. Whole Foods, Butcher Box, Trader Joe's. I went a little crazy at Trader Joe's because my sister-in-law got her wisdom teeth removed kind of last minute, and she was pretty stressed about it. So I went and got her like a bunch of fall food, but also like soft food and just like fall fun things just to like make her day, because she was a little bit stressed about getting her teeth taken out, obviously. So I did go a little bit crazy, but as you saw, we didn't go over budget on groceries this month, so it's fine. Diapers, which we did buy some reusable diapers, or so cloth diapers. So we're gonna try that for Poppy for like, it'll never be like a full-time thing. I just don't have the energy for that. But even just like part-time, I think will be helpful just budgetarily, as well as environmentally, which is what's important to Ben. Me too, but you know, I'm a little bit hyper-focused on the budget. And then moving on to the start of our trip, we got gas a couple times. We got Qdoba on the way to Ben's grandparents as a family so that we would have food to eat once we got there. This is a coffee shop in Eau Claire. I got a renewal of my Fount Society lotion, which is like my new favorite product. I'm loving that stuff. Daughter's Books was a bookstore that we went to, spent a little bit of money on ice cream, and then our hotel payment. So that is all of those right there. If you look over here, we spent about 46% on variable expenses, 46% on bills, and 7% on debt. So I feel like that's pretty good. Like I said, to have $1,200 left over at the end of the month is like crazy for us since we've moved back to Illinois, because our cost of living is just so much higher, and I've just like slowly stopped working, and now I'm not working at all besides being a mom, which is work, but unpaid work, obviously. It was just really exciting that we had that money left over. October is going to be a high spend month because the first 4 days of October we were still on our trip. We spent a good amount of money on like personal things. I got myself a shirt, we got like a couple of things, had a lot of food out, had a lot of coffee out. things like that. So we're just gonna have to be cognizant the rest of the month. I hope you guys enjoyed this like recap and seeing what we spent in September. Let me know if you have any questions. Be proud of me if you've watched any of my videos before, because you know it's been a little tough and sometimes we're not great at staying on budget, and we did really well this month. So I'm happy with that. But I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.